Um, well, that was very strange because my OBS still says connected. Hmm, that's not very fair. Uh, uh, is it going to reset all the? That probably means that it's gonna say you need to run an initial ad again. Yep, there it is. You jerks. Okay. Well, ugh, gross. I still had 30 minutes left on my pre-roll. Apparently, we're taking another ad break in 5 minutes, so yay. Man, whatever. Can't snooze it, unfortunately, because all the stream timers reset? Oh no. Oh. Yeah. Oh, when you go offline, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just being a punk. Anyway, so I determined there are kind of two ways that you could figure out the distance that we get to the particular target star. Um, so we have to go through like every single star in turn, essentially, and figure out how many there are around it. So, how are we going to do that? Our distance can be just done with the standard distance formula, and then we count if the proper distance is less than that particular x to that target star. Or we could go with like a voxel distance and say, okay, figure out from this particular place is let's take all of the stars within x distance in the x direction and the y direction and the z direction, and then just count from there. But then I was like, well, that's stupid because that you can't really. We wouldn't be able to use the furthest enumerated, but again, we don't actually need that because that's only if we're using if we're using like a maxed out thing. So we can just eliminate that and say we could do it either way that we want for either the distance or the voxel distance. However, I was thinking that the voxel distance would be good for at least constructing a candidate list. So if you have some ridiculous number of stars that you're currently working with, it can be pared down by galactic sector, first of all. We don't have that. Well, I mean, we got 2 million, but. And then only copy forward those where the x distance is good enough. And then of those, only copy down those where the y distance is within the proper distance, and then also z direction. So we just keep paring down the list until we get whatever it is that we're looking for. And then out of that, we construct our candidate list, and then find the distances from that as standard definition. Yeah, and then figure out how databases and storages work, because otherwise that's going to be a mess. And then colorize using density, and then display the graphic. So the only thing that I sort of know how to do is after you get the data, do all this stuff. The current Elite Dangerous system is entirely in rectangular coordinates, just because they label all of the voxels as you go up through the layers. So as you move around and up and down. Ads are probably going to hit just about now, but what do you mean you have alerts? I don't see any alerts. Oh man. 108 was a rough minute for 108 was a rough minute for over here, because yeah, that's when everything started throwing errors. It's like just pages. Amazing. All right, 2 minutes. Be right back, everybody. Thank you so much. Righto. Tonight, we are hashtag not sponsored by Polly's Rosebud IPA. And Nature Valley Canadian maple syrup. Anyway, hope everything's going well. We are, maybe midway. We'll see how I'm doing. So there's several other things that I've been working on, but this is the only one with actual, like, ties to astrophysics, my previous life of interest. And also we're going to have some challenges just because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But, you know, that's sometimes a good thing. Learn and grow and all that good stuff. Think at the moment I might duck over to Euclidia. So we had played some Euclidia, which is a geometry-based game where we're basically going through Euclid's elements and saying, like, you know, let's, using only a straight edge and a compass, can we then perform all of the actual, like, can we perform all of the actual propositions as shown in Euclid's elements? Now, granted, it does not go through literally every proposition in every book of Euclid, but nonetheless, the developers found an interesting and fun little way in which to do it. In order to find an equilateral triangle, we create two equal-sized compass-drawn circles, and then naturally we're going to go to one side here. Now, it is also true that we could have gone down instead. So, for L refers to the I forget what L actually stands for, but it's the, like, number of moves that you have to make given all of the tools that you have available to you at your disposal. So not just a straight edge and compass, but sometimes there's, like, perpendicular bisector, which takes extra moves moves if you were to do it all by compass and straight edge. So, and for anybody who's interested, right, this is Euclidia.xyz. It is free. You can do it online. There is also a version in both the Google Play and Apple Store. So whatever you feel like. Anyway, L is again all the tools at your disposal. Try and make whatever it is that you're trying to make. The E refers to the number of Euclidean moves, which are strictly and explicitly straight edge and compass, nothing else. The points are free, the intersections are free. So those are just bookkeeping. You're just marking what points you're talking about. And 2V says how many variants do we have of this particular thing. So in this case, we have two variants, an equilateral triangle that could have been formed up and one that could have been formed down. Okay, so then when we go back to tiles, there's all sorts of cool stuff that you can do. We did square, circle and square, square and circle, right? Inscribe a square, rhombus and a rectangle, midpoints, perpendicular bisectors, find the center of a circle, and then inscribe square. The only thing that we haven't found is how to do it in 7 Euclidean movements. We do know, I believe, L, straight or curved lines. Okay. Huh. There was a way to get a hint, which gave us all of the moves, and in order, but it didn't tell us where to put them. Now, that may just be a mobile-only thing. The problem here being that we found how to do it in 8 moves rather than 7. So we're not going to get the E, and there's no other way to get a variant, right? Because if we started drawing 90-degree